is The Real Show. My name is Mahalia Bamford, your host, and tonight we are about to have fun and get educated. You are about to meet my first guest for tonight, and guess what? She is here to grace us with not just beauty, but a great title and brains, creativity, and more. Stick with me. Let's have a look at this introductory video, and then you can have your eyes behold this beautiful queen in my midst.
Painting is an act of expressing one's innermost feelings. It is also an avenue of sharing one's experiences of the world around them. It is also the painter's interpretation of the complexities of life. A painting is an image or artwork created using color on a surface such as paper or canvas and even glass. Traditionally used to decorate the windows of European cathedrals, the art of glass painting has come a long way since its early beginnings. Modern artists are still practicing the age-old craft, often with their own contemporary twist. From the 1st century, Romans used glass to create decorative vessels and mosaics. However, it wasn't until the Middle Ages that artisans began painting glass with colorful pigment to create vibrant stained glass designs. Stained glass art was predominantly found in churches. By the 17th century, the demand for colored glass increased dramatically as many Gothic cathedrals adopted the art form as a way to illustrate scenes from the Bible to an illiterate crowd. It has been mastered through time, and their subjects expand beyond religious symbolism. Contemporary glass painting artists are now transforming three-dimensional objects such as wine glasses and other items into beautiful decorative objects that feature all kinds of designs. Yvette Nsiah is a Ghanaian born in Brooklyn, New York, who paints on glass. Her work serves as a portal highlighting the vast contrast between the upper and lower classes and how the workers who manipulate glass in architecture are ironically unable to enjoy the luxuries of the product of their labors. She believes in creating art that reflects the times and continuous imbalance of resources through history as an observer rather than a judge. She is a trained teacher with experience over 12 years, having spent the last 4 years teaching in La Côte d'Ivoire. She represented Ghana in the 2008 Miss Universe competition held in Vietnam. She became interested in art during her travels around Vietnam during the competition, as she observed and felt the after effects of a nuclear war on its people.
Welcome, Yvette Nsiah. You are
Thank you.
beautiful.
So are you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You look amazing and
Thank
so
you.
classy. Honestly, I'm coming for your necklace after this. But you know, you are a beauty queen. You won Miss Universe Ghana in 2008, if I'm
Yes.
right. And now you're into art. They say variety is the spice of life. I think creativity is like the center of everything, or the engine of the car, if the car is alive. So tell us, how did you move from being a beauty queen to getting into art?
Well, I've always been a creative. I've always been into music, writing songs.
Oh, you give us a line though.
Not tonight, but actually the pageant was something I just kind of fell upon through someone I knew who worked with Miss Universe Ghana. So I have never really been into pageantry or modeling. It was kind of by chance.
Oh, wow. So how did you move from that to art?
Well, I've been teaching for a long time, and working in the French system, I was teaching at the French school. It works in a way that the teacher has to do all subjects with students. So I would do art with them, and I think that also helped me to develop my natural interest in that. And taking part in Chalewate for 2 years in a row,
Nice.
that also helped me a lot, and just practice. I've practiced a lot.
Wow. Chaliwati is ongoing, right?
It's happening now, yeah, apparently.
Okay. So can people pass through and see some of your art?
Well, not this year. I did it in 2016 and 2017. At this time, I'm more focused on trying to do some solo work.
Okay, then. But I mean, we know now that you're into art, but why painting on glasses, to be specific? Why that?
You know, people always ask me this question. And the truth is, it was like divine inspiration. I didn't really see something somewhere that I wanted to mimic or something like this. But I can say I have always been interested in transparent objects and how light passes through them and how things sparkle, kind of like those lovely crystals over there.
Oh, okay.
So this is kind of what inspired the glass. And then it just grew from there.
So what are some of the art pieces you're inspired to do? Like, are you painting glasses for like a flower vase, or you're painting glass for what specifically?
Oh, I do portraits.
Okay.
So I get a tablet of glass, just like you would see on this table.
Okay.
And then I tend to paint women.
Beautiful.
But yeah, I'll choose some images that I find beautiful or inspiring, and then I paint them directly onto the glass.
No, there must be some talent there. You can't just chance upon this interest in art and then start painting portraits on glass.
Yeah.
I mean, even doing it on paper, I try, but I know that's not easy. So kudos. But
thank you.
How do you source some of your materials, from the glass to whatever it is you use? Do you use painting? Do you spray?
So I use paint pens.
Okay.
Which is more tedious.
I can tell.
I would compare the paint to something like nail polish in terms of its texture and its smell. I buy the paints outside of Ghana, and the glass I source here in Ghana from companies that produce glass for housing.
Nice. So where can we see some of your pieces?
I'm hoping to do my next exhibition soon. I had my last exhibition at Accra Open Studio, which is in Jolu, and my Instagram and my Facebook, you can see a lot of my art there.
So what's that?
My Instagram is Yvette.Nsiah, and my Facebook is Yvette Nsiah.
All right, so Yvette.Nsiah on Instagram and Yvette Nsiah on Facebook.
Yes.
You all should go and check out some of her art pieces as well. And what inspires you to select the pictures you see? I mean, what do you look out for to find a picture interesting enough to want to put it on the glass?
That's a good question. Honestly, anything that makes me feel. It could be something that's very beautiful, or something that makes me feel a bit sad, or something that inspires me. Like currently I'm working on great leaders of African descent.
Nice.
So yeah, just anything that moves me, whether in a positive or negative way.
All right. But how would you say painting has impacted your life?
For me, I find the process very therapeutic, kind of like a meditation. So glass paintings take a long time to make, very long time. So yeah, it's almost like praying while I do the pieces. Yeah. So it's very peaceful. It brings a lot of peace.
Oh. But would you say you would take custom-made orders, as in somebody can come in and ask that you make a particular piece for them, you know, for their loved ones, maybe birthday presents and so on and so forth?
Yes, I'm actually currently working on 2 pieces that are presents. So yeah, I'm pretty open.
All right, then that's cool. And also, how would you say, if you had to link art and beauty pageants, would there be a way to link them? I wanted to ask this because, you know, most of the time we talk about beauty pageants being a platform for people to express, for people to lead and get some sort of impact.
Yeah.
Is there in any way you can find yourself linking that to your art?
Yeah, for me, part of the reason I chose to do the pageant was I was very shy when I was little, and I wanted to overcome that fear of speaking in front of people or doing my art in front of people, because it can be very vulnerable. And I would say Miss Universe helped me a lot with coming out of my shell and learning to get into the craft, you know what I mean? More than thinking of what others are thinking as they're looking at you. So yeah, it helped a lot.
What did you do for your talent? Did you draw?
No. I sang. I sang a song that I wrote.
And we really cannot get a line?
Oh.
Can we get a line from the song you sang? We want to really
Back then, I don't remember. Moment. This is like 13 years ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
It's a very long time ago. But I think they were more impressed by the writing than the fact that I sang.
You're so creative.
Yeah. Anything art, especially with my hands, is something that I've always been
Wow, that's a lot. But I know you're also a teacher.
I am.
How did you get into that? How do you feel about teaching?
Well, actually, that's what I studied in university,
Okay.
was African Studies and Education. So
Right.
I've been teaching since I was 19,
Ooh.
and well, off and on. And I love working with kids. They're very honest and raw and very authentic. Yeah, I'm not teaching right now, but hopefully, what I would like to do in the future is be able to teach art, to have workshops for kids with art.
Great. But how would you say the art industry is? Is it lucrative? Do you think there's enough attention? Are Ghanaians understanding the importance of art? Because before we didn't even used to have stuff like art galleries or openings or showings and all of that. But I think now they are picking up. But as of now, you being in the industry, how do you see it?
I will be honest and say that it's not the easiest.
Okay.
We don't have many galleries.
Okay.
And Ghana's not the kind of place where you can just rent a big gallery and show your work.
Yeah.
So it's more the networking. And as you said, I think Ghanaians, there is space for some development in terms of appreciation for art. So I would say focusing here would limit your ability for it to be lucrative. And I would encourage any artist to look beyond Ghana.
Great. So that's what makes it lucrative, right? Because Ghanaians are not patronizing arts as much as they probably should. Well, let's get a bit into pageantry again.
Okay.
Looking at how pageantry is going now, there's been a lot of scandals in the past from other brands. Well, not your brand, but we've heard a lot of things about pageantry, despite even what we may be told by our parents and the old-fashioned way of looking at pageantry in general. With all of that happening, would you say, comparing before, I mean, over a decade now, about 13 years ago when you were queen, to now, would you say pageantry has evolved for the better, or there's some things we could do to make it better?
The truth is, I don't really know what goes on with pageantry now. I don't. I don't really get into it. I don't look at it. My mind isn't there. But I will say from my experience, I'm sure some of those things have carried on till now.
Yeah.
And I think we have to remember to protect our young women, most importantly. I think this is where some of the scandals come about, and seek sponsorship. I feel like for me, when I went there, we didn't have sponsors, and it was a really tough situation to pull off. And then you go to Miss Universe and you see other countries who have all this support from, whether they're government or privately, but it makes a difference. So I would say more support in terms of financially and sponsorship, and protecting the young women from predators. I didn't go through that, but
Yeah, generally.
I'm just saying.
What would you say? Would you say winning the crown has had a good impact? If so, how?
You mean like post-winning?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say it has helped me a lot in terms of networking and meeting people that I might not have otherwise met.
Okay.
I think anytime you go somewhere and they find out you were a Miss Universe, it does create some kind of an image about you, whether it's that you have etiquette or you're exposed or you represented your country. So I do think, yeah, it has benefited me in terms of networking and meeting people. Yeah.
All right. Do you have some personal principles in life that you think has helped you can share with the younger ones that are watching, or just anybody who can pick it up?
I would say, I'm going to look into the camera for this. Be who you are. Foster a relationship with yourself. Spend time to get to know yourself, what you like, what you don't like. Figure out what your purpose is in this life. And yeah, most of all, be authentic. Not everyone is going to like you. Doesn't matter. Focus on what you're here for or why you came to this earth.
Focus on what you're here for and why you came to this earth. That sounds positive. What about self-care? Because you're literally glowing.
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
Like, how do you do that?
I'm not that good at it, honestly. I get tips from my sister because she's the real beauty queen. But I love black soap, anything natural. I'm a fan of anything natural. Get rest. And wash your face before you go to bed. Vitamin E oil.
Great. Anyway, okay, so do you have a particular art piece that you would call your favorite? And is there a reason for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did one which was really hard to sell, but it was one of two women, and one of the women is embracing the other. And the reason it's my favorite, other than being beautiful, is I love to see, especially ethnic women, supporting each other and coming together. I find sometimes we're our own worst enemy. And so that piece really signified the unity of women. I think that could change the world.
Wow. I feel like you're in the final stage and you
I
just said
swear.
something amazing, you know? And I probably should go like, yeah, give her the crown. But that was very inspiring. Would you share some of the music you love as well with us?
Oh, I love Sade. I always paint to Sade because it's very calming and she sings about love. I love Fela Kuti. I'm a huge fan of Fela Kuti. I love Kwadwo Entry. Oh my gosh.
And what would you say about self-care? You know, in our parts of the world, self-care is seen as being able to do your makeup and sit outside for lunch once in a while. For you, what does it really mean?
Oh, well, personally, I'm going to go into something that might not be so big here, but I think we all go through, we live in an interesting world. We all go through things in our younger years, and sometimes we need to heal from that. And I think therapy or seeking counseling or finding whether it's meditation for you or prayer, but I think counseling and therapy can be very helpful in figuring out how to navigate. Even for couples, I think asking for help when you need help is a good thing.
If you had a chance to talk to like your younger self, maybe like 10 years ago, or even 8 years, 5 years ago, what would you have said to yourself that you wish you had known by then?
Oh, I would have said, forget what people think and develop a relationship with yourself. I think once you do that, and
great to go.
I could have done that earlier if I knew.
But is there anything else you want to share with us?
I'd like to share a message to young Ghanaian artists who are out there, especially female artists. I know, as I was talking about, being protected from predators and stuff like that. Keep working hard. And I think if we stick together, most importantly, and support each other, if I become some big multi-million artist one day, I wouldn't forget to look back at girls like me now. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So just remember to do that, stick together, work hard, be yourself. Yeah,
Thank you very much, Queen. So
Thank
there you have it. That was my first guest, Miss Yvette Nsiah Jima. Thank you so much for gracing our set this evening and for all the wisdom. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you.